Back in 2008, 1,000 volunteers from around the world agreed to have their genome sequenced and the data made available through public datasets. 2 years after that, neuroscientists Bharat Biswal, Michael Millam, and their colleagues published a similar proposal to collect data about the functional connectome, a map of how brain signals correlate in different areas, an idea known as functional connectivity. This collaboration became known as the 1000 Functional Connectomes Project, and today there is data available from 33 different sites around the world, from Cambridge to Taipei, with a range of sample sizes from a dozen to a couple hundred. Collecting data and making it publicly available is part of a trend known as open science, which also includes transparency of how the data were acquired and analyzed. In this video, we'll see how to analyze one of these functional connectivity datasets using the CONN toolbox. This summer, a new version was released that allows you to download, import, and pre-process resting state data from a variety of the 1000 functional connectomes datasets. Note that the following tutorial assumes you're already familiar with MATLAB and the CONN toolbox, and that you have a supercomputing account. If it's your first time with any of those, click on the training links in the description box down below. Open a new instance of CONN and then select Project, New Download, and from FCP INDI Public Database. You'll be prompted to enter the name for the project. In this case, let's call it CONN fcon_demo, but you can call it whatever you want. And then select the dataset that you want. In this case, we'll choose the smallest dataset, which is Taipei B, with only 8 subjects. Click on it, and then click OK. The next prompt will ask you whether you want to just download the data, or whether you want to download and process it. This includes everything from preprocessing to denoising and first-level analysis. The downside is that it uses defaults you may not want, and only analyzes certain ROIs, although you can change this later. For now, let's choose the download and process option. If you have multiple cores on your machine, you can select background process, otherwise just select run locally on this computer. This takes roughly an hour for this dataset, so we'll let it run and come back when it's finished. Once it is finished, you will see that all of the tabs are enabled, since all of the preprocessing and analyses have been completed. We're going to take a very quick look at the preprocessed structural and functional data, along with some of the denoising, although you should take the time to thoroughly quality check the data on your own time. Notice that only the network ROIs are analyzed in the first level tab. You could add the other Atlas ROIs here if you wanted to. You can also run the group level analyses for any region that is available. In this case, we'll just do it for the first one, the MPFC region. Note that this dataset does not contain any other demographic information, such as age or sex, so we won't be able to control for them when we look at the group level results. Let's now take a look at how to analyze these datasets on a supercomputing cluster. At the University of Michigan, I use the cluster Great Lakes, which has a web-based graphical user interface called On Demand. Here I can click on My Interactive Sessions and select a new instance of MATLAB. Many of my defaults are standard, and I will keep this session running for 96 hours, along with using 16 gigabytes of memory. After clicking Launch, it takes a few moments for the session to load. I then click on Launch MATLAB and wait for MATLAB to open. Once MATLAB is open, I've already installed SPM12 and the CONN toolbox in my home directory on the computing clusters. And after adding them to my path, I'm also going to go to a custom directory created for me, which contains more space for my analyses. Check with your system administrator where the best place is to store analyses requiring several gigabytes of data. After opening the CONN toolbox, as before, I create a new project by downloading one of the fcon datasets. Let's call this project Ann Arbor_CONN, since I will be analyzing data from one of the Ann Arbor sites. And let's select the first option, Ann Arbor_A. This time, however, let's choose to just download the data instead of processing it. So take a few moments, we'll come back when it's finished downloading. Once it's downloaded, take a quick look through some of the structural and functional scans to see what the data looks like and make an a priori judgment about whether any scans need to be discarded due to scanner artifacts. At this time, we're going to take advantage of the numerous cores or individual computers that are contained within the cluster. Click on Tools, HPC Options, and Configuration. Under Profiles, the drop-down menu, select Slurm Computer Cluster. With Slurm referring to the batch syntax used to submit jobs on a supercomputing cluster, and check the box next to Default Profile so that this is used automatically for all future projects. Most of the defaults are fine. The only thing we will change for now is the additional submit settings. To the field next to inline, add --mem equals 16 GB. This ensures that we have enough memory to run the current analyses. And -t, 12 hours, allocates 12 hours of processing time for the job. This is probably more than we need, and you probably should change this to reflect more closely how long it takes on your cluster, but for now, it's a good idea to be on the safe side. Now click on Test Profile to see whether a job can be submitted on this system. You will now see a Job Manager window that tracks the progress of your submitted job. If you click on the box next to Advanced Options, you can see more details about what is happening in the job right now. In this example, we have one job submitted to one node with a unique job identifier. If you then click on See Logs, it will show you exactly what code is being run at the current time. In this case, it is simply testing whether the jobs can be submitted in parallel. Click on the Refresh button in this Log Details window to see updates about what is happening on the current node. Once it looks like the job is finished, click on the Refresh button in the Job Manager window. You should see the bar at the bottom of the window change from Submitted to Finishing and eventually to Finished. This means that it successfully ran without any errors. Now click on the Finish button to exit that window, and also click on Continue and exit the other windows as well. We are now ready to analyze our current dataset using the supercomputing cluster. For this tutorial, I'm going to click on Options and uncheck the boxes next to voxel to voxel and dynamic circuits. This is simply to save time because those analyses can take quite a bit of memory. Now click on Preprocessing, and just like we did in previous tutorials on the CONN toolbox, select the first option, which is the default preprocessing pipeline, and click OK. At this point, click on the drop-down window over here, Local Processing, and change it to Distributed Processing Run on Slurm Computer Cluster, and then click the Start button. At this point, you will see a new prompt asking you how many parallel jobs you would like to run. There are 23 subjects we have downloaded, and if we want to, we could use 23 cores, or one for each job, just like using a separate computer to process each job individually. After clicking OK, you will be asked the usual questions about preprocessing, such as slice timing correction and smoothing. I don't know the slice timing in this case, so I'm going to skip it, but I'll keep the defaults the same for the rest of them. After a few moments, you'll see another Job Manager window. Just like before, I'm going to click on the box next to Advanced Options, and note that in this case there are 23 jobs being run simultaneously, one per subject. Click on See Logs to observe what progress is being made during the preprocessing step. You can select any one of the nodes by clicking on the drop-down menu. In this case, click on Node 0001 and select any of the other nodes to see what's being done with another subject. This will take about 7 minutes, so I'm going to fade out and come back when it's done. Once it appears that the preprocessing is done, click the Refresh button on the Job Manager window until it says Finished, and then click Finish to import the preprocessed files. Close out of the log details window, and then click on Done. For the next few steps, we'll be doing the same procedure in which we changed local processing to distributed processing and using 23 cores to analyze all the subjects simultaneously. Same as before, we use the Job Manager window to keep tabs on the progress of each processing step. When that process is done, exit out of the Log Details window, and then we get to the Denoising tab. At this point, again, click Done. Same as before, select Distributed Processing, and select 23 cores to analyze all the subjects simultaneously. Once you get to the First Level Analysis tab, click on SBCL1, and notice that all of the possible selected seeds and sources have been loaded for analysis. Same procedure, click Done, Distributed Processing, and 23 cores in this case. Once all the data have been pre-processed and analyzed, you can look at whichever result you want in the Second Level tab. For example, you could take a contrast of males greater than females for the MPFC region, including age as a covariate, which you might want to mean center in the Setup tab. The choice is up to you how you want to analyze the data, and you can also rerun these analyses using voxel-to-voxel analysis or dynamic circuits. Overall, importing these open access databases is an excellent way to learn more about the variety of samples that are collected and how to analyze them in the CONN toolbox. I hope you found this useful, and good luck with your own analyses.